And we're back here on the GioMoShow. Final segment. It's Golden Grizzly Sports. Basketball and swim and dive, and we got to get through it pretty quick, so bear with me. Men's basketball had a trip to Wisconsin this past weekend, starting Thursday at Green Bay and Saturday at Milwaukee. First game against Green Bay was close and back and forth throughout the game, but it was a moment in the second half, about 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the game. In the second half, teams were tied at 50, and Green Bay went on an 11-0 run, and that's what ended up winning the game. It was close throughout. Campy blames himself partially because he went to man to man during the game instead of the zone, and he doesn't regret the decision to go to man in the moment, but he regrets keeping them in man for so long. And, they got a Grizz Vision about that one, so go check out Golden Grizzlies on YouTube after the show here. Get Campy's thoughts on it, and the Campy radio show will be tonight at 6 o'clock. So you could get some more thoughts on that as well. But Oakland Falls' final score is 69-59 to the new Green Bay Phoenix. Those guys have really turned it around in 1 year. Shout out to them. So Oakland has beaten them at home and lost to them away. Split with the team that is now above and beyond in the Horizon League. Green Bay's number one. They followed that up with a double overtime win against Milwaukee. This one was insane. I didn't get to watch it the whole way through, but I caught the last 3 minutes of the double overtime and got a good sense of the game. This game was incredible. Now, our sports director, Harsh Brutar, he has mixed feelings about the game, justified ones, but because he wants the game a little bit closer, so be sure to tune in to find his show, Detroit Rant Radio. I'm sure he'll talk about it one of these days. But either way, here's my perspective. This is the GioMoShow. We're talking about me. We're talking about my perspective here. So the way the game went is Oakland came out, with a big lead very early, 10-2. Was the start of the game with about 17 minutes in the first quarter. I mean, very early, 10-2 lead. But then Milwaukee got control back, then reversing it, going up by 11 with 4 minutes left before halftime. Oakland would punch back, as this game was one where haymakers were going back and forth. Oakland returned the punch to get a 1-point lead going into halftime with a Jack Golke three-pointer. That will be a theme throughout the game. He sends it into overtime. Oakland with a 1-point lead. Score is 38-37. In the second half, Oakland will maintain their lead of about 6, 7, even 8 points throughout the second half. But Milwaukee would have the game tied 60-60 with 6 minutes and 47 left in regulation. At the 30-second mark in regulation, Milwaukee is up by 3, 68-65, 36 seconds left. Oakland has the ball. Who takes the shot for 3? None other than Jack Golke. He sinks it with mere seconds left on the clock, ties the game, and that's what will end up sending it into overtime. Baru would end up securing the rebound to make that certain. So not only did Golke get the last-second three-point shot to get the lead going into halftime, he got the tie game to go into overtime. And then in overtime, let's fast forward all the way to 36 seconds left in overtime. Similar situation. Milwaukee's up by 3, 36 seconds left. Oakland needs a 3 to continue. Who sinks the three-pointer? Jack Golke again, to continue the game in overtime. 2 times in this game, with 36 seconds left, Milwaukee up by 3, Golke takes a shot and sinks it and continues the game. Incredible. And then in double overtime, Golke would go 3 of 3 from the line and make another three-pointer himself. DQ and Blake Lamman would make threes. Townsend would make a couple in the paint and get some free throws as well. Baru would get a block and a rebound, and Oakland goes off into the sunset, becoming the first team to win in Wisconsin this season in the Horizon League, and win 91-87 over the Milwaukee Panthers. Incredible game. And I got to speed it up. We're running low on time. Highlight scores. Gohlke was 8 of 18 from the three. Made all three of his free throws, 27 points. Townsend, double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. And then Blake Lampman, 17 points, 5 of 14 from the line. From the three-point from the arc, and then 2 of 2 from the line. And Baru had 17 rebounds, 7 offensive, 8 points, 5 blocks, and a steal. Baru, in the 35 minutes he played, most of the season so far, he's big time. So now Oakland is at third place in the Horizon League, 8-3, 13-9 overall, and they will be playing Cleveland State coming up later this week. I believe that game, yes, that will be this Thursday, February 1st. Or excuse me, that's incorrect. This Thursday, February 1st, 7 p.m., they will be playing Robert Morris. You can hear that game here on WXOU. Once again, Thursday, 7 p.m. against Robert Morris. They will play Cleveland State Saturday, the 3rd, against Cleveland State, also here on WXOU. All right, so we got to blitz through the women's basketball segment. Forgive me for it. But the first game of the week was on Thursday against Cleveland State. It was a game I attended. And listen, Cleveland State's really good. Cleveland State's really good. Oakland had a big lead early in the game. They were up by 7 in the first half. And they would even keep the lead going into halftime. It hovered around 5 or 6, and then Cleveland State had a last-second stretch, or had a stretch in the last seconds to get the lead down to 2 going into halftime. Oakland was up 34-32 going into halftime. And then coming out of halftime, Cleveland State opened a can of you-know-what, finished the third quarter up 15, and ended the game up 12. Final score 77-65. Cleveland State gets the best of the Golden Grizzlies. But then the Golden Grizzlies travel on the road Sunday at IUPUI, where they beat the Jaguars 65-59. Maddie Skorupski, team high 13 points, 3 of 8 from the field, but 7 of 8 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds and assists, a block, 2 steals on top of it as well. Makai McCormick, 12 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from the line. And then Brooke Quarles-Daniels, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 of 11 from the floor. So they get a win on the road against the Jaguars and are now sitting at 7th place in the Horizon League, 5-6 in league play, and 9-10 overall. And then for the final segment of the GioMoShow, swim and dive, and then we also got D3 Club Hockey. Surprise, surprise. Surprise because I forgot to mention it. But swim and dive, they traveled to Cleveland State for their last meet of the regular season before the Horizon League Championships arrive here on Valentine's Day. At Cleveland State, the women's team beat the Vikings 193-105, and the men 195-99. So that's a win for both swim and dive teams for the Golden Grizzlies. As mentioned, they will be traveling to Indiana for the Horizon League Championship meet starting on Valentine's Day. And what day is that? It's a Thursday? That's a Wednesday. From Wednesday to Saturday, they will be competing for a 40-plus something consecutive win for the men and a 27 maybe plus streak for the women. They've been winning conference championships since before I was born. So that does not look like to be slowing down, even without their legendary head coach under the now promoted assistant, Mitch Alters. I see the Golden Grizzlies continuing that legacy of championships in the conference. Moving on now to our last segment of the GioMoShow, Club Sports. And we got D3 Hockey. We missed this in the last show, but the rankings came out as of January 19th for the ACHA, the American Collegiate Hockey Association. January 19th, the rankings came out. Oakland drops to 12th place in the country. Previously, they were up as high as 6. We covered their games last week against Central Michigan. We have an interview with Brandon Danu, who scored his 50th goal against the Chippewas last week. So be sure to go to WXOU Sports' YouTube channel. Check that one out. It's one of our biggest videos that we have on the channel. So thank you to D3 Club Hockey. Thank you to the fan base. You guys roll hard. You guys go hard in the paint. And now in the future, the Golden Grizzlies will be playing University of Michigan, current ranked 13th, just underneath the Golden Grizzlies. They'll be playing at Michigan this Friday the 2nd, and they will be returning. That can't be right. This one also says Friday the 2nd, but we'll given the usual schedule, Friday the 2nd they'll be at U of M, and then they will be hosting U of M the next day, Saturday the 3rd. That'll be at the Birmingham Ice Arena. Tickets are free for students to attend and watch their D3 Club Hockey if you're in the Birmingham Ice Arena area. And you can find more information on their website. It's a long one, but just search Oakland D3 Hockey. You'll find it. They got great game summaries, game previews, stats, everything you need to get to know your D3 Club Hockey. Friend of the GioMoShow and friend of WXOU. So, with that being said, we got through a lot this show here on the GioMoShow. It was a little bit unorthodox in the organization of the show, but we thank you for tuning in and we thank you for following along. And if you missed it, don't worry if you're just tuning in now. Don't worry. We'll have this whole thing uploaded on YouTube and Spotify by later today, so there's no way to miss the GioMoShow. You can find it Monday evening up on YouTube and on Spotify. So, from the GioMoShow, from Giovanni Moscheri here at WXOU, this has been the GioMoShow. We'll be back here same place, same time, Mondays at noon on WXOU.